Alright everybody, I was requested for pointers and tips, so here's the video that most of y'all have been waiting for on technical indicators and how to trade and make money on all of these different cryptocurrencies and exchanges. Technical indicators and overlays are actually universal for most trading platforms. If it's, the cryptocurrency exchanges have them, but as well as Merrill Lynch, E-Trade, Options House, all the main stock and bond exchanges have the same technical indicators for the most part. So let's get right into it. Einsteinium has high volume today, so we'll check it out, see what's going on. On your Bittrex screen up here in Studies is where all your overlays and technical indicators are. And if this internet connection will load, we can show you how they work. So in Studies, you open it, you will get this menu of technical indicators. The ones that I want to talk about today are Bollinger Bands, Commodity Channel Index, MACD, which is the Moving Average Convergence Divergence, and then the RSI, which is the Relative Strength Index. These are the four that I use to gauge momentum swings in trading, how buyers and sellers are coming to the market, and where overbought, oversold zones are, so you can predict price swings and some other good information. So let's start with MACD. So how this works is you have two moving averages that cross each other. In some other brokerages, you'll see an MACD 12 and an MACD 26 as two different indicators, and you have to click on both of them. On Bittrex, it puts them both together for you. So we'll just leave it at defaults to explain the concept. But if you zoom out a little bit, you can see there's a black line and a red line. The red line is the slower moving average. So it takes, the average moving average of all the prices on a longer period versus the black line is the faster moving average. You get these, let's zoom in, sorry about that. So where the indication happens and the momentum swings are where the black line crosses the red line. It's basically showing that the traders in the market are, going from a buy or an overbought, oversold situation, and prices are going to change, and momentum of prices are going to change. So when you see the black line cross above the red line, it's a pretty good indication to it's time to buy, and the momentum is going to increase the price. And as you can see, you see this big uptrend in price, and so there's is your downside, your flip to the other side, then you see this negative trend here. These are technical indicators, and when used in conjunction with each other, they can help predict things, but on their own, they are not foolproof. They, as you can see here, you had a big spike, and you started selling, but this indicator comes in a little bit later, a couple steps later, which again, if you were sold right at this part, you still would have made, a good profit. And the other thing about technical indicators is it is very important to realize how you make money trading is on the momentum and not trying to predict the peaks and valleys. Everyone wants to buy low and sell high, and that's the fundamental philosophy, but trying to predict exactly what is high and exactly what is low is nearly impossible. So if you have a bankroll and you want to start trading, I highly suggest you, buy in on the momentum shift and you sell after, you've made some profit. Don't get too greedy. So that's the moving averages. The commodity channel index. It shows overbought, oversold zones. I'd like to add it doesn't do it as well as an RSI, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the real winner here, you just create defaults. The real winner is you see where the line and the momentum swings across the zero axis. So as you can see, this is an overbought zone, the gray, and then you get this line that cruises. And right when it crosses the zero axis, you'll normally see a big swing in prices. And you won't see them come back up until the next time it crosses the zero axis. So you can almost take off the overbought, oversold zones on the CCI and just pay attention to when the indication of the momentum swing, which is going above and below the zero axis. And as you can see, the, the moving averages and the CCI start to work in conjunction, and you'll start to see prices and stuff move in the same direction, because most traders are all looking at the same stuff. So when you see something happen, someone else sees something happen, and all of a sudden you see a big swing in markets. RSI, Relative Strength Index. So this one, I like to shorten the channel a little bit. We can go 70 and 30, or maybe even 65 and 35. What this does is it gives you a little bit of indication on when to buy and sell. And when you reduce the channel, you kind of see that indication before a lot of other traders. So you notice, for the most part, the RSI sits within the channel. But when you see a indication of it being oversold, you can almost guarantee, I've been doing this for quite a while, and almost guarantee that the price will flip. So as you see, you're oversold a little bit here, and boom, all of a sudden you get a big spike in momentum change. So when you use all these things in conjunction with each other is really where the magic starts to happen. So let's take this upswing, for example. If you start down here, you have an oversold indication in your RSI. You see an oversold indication in the CCI, and you're cruising towards the zero axis. And then in your moving averages, you see a cross and convergence too. So me being a trader, I see all this in real time, and I would buy in somewhere in this general vicinity. And I would sit and hold. And all of a sudden, you keep increasing, watching your profits get higher and higher. And I would start to get a little weary when I see this, but not make any sudden decisions. But when I see the RSI touch the top, it's time to let that baby go. I'd make a sell, and even if you get caught up in this downfall a little bit, you're starting at 0.00011, and you're selling at a somewhere in a 0.00014 range, to where depending on your bankroll and how much money you have to invest, that's a good profit. You're not going to get Bitcoin rich overnight, like a lot of people did buying into actual Bitcoin, doing these trading methods, but it is a way to increase your Bitcoin. So all of a sudden, as the prices fluctuate, you have more Bitcoins. And that's a quick index, or a quick tutorial on these. I almost forgot. Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands, you can leave all your settings at default. And what a Bollinger Band does is it shows a couple things. It shows the volatility in the trading. So you'll see here that the lines tighten on the center and the channels narrow. There's not a whole lot of volatility here. All of a sudden, when a lot more traders get in, you'll watch the volatility open up, and when the channel opens up, you get bigger swings. These bars get a lot bigger. The other thing is the concept of support and resistance. Support is when, again, similar to the RSI and these other indicators, when traders are overselling an asset or an investment vehicle, whether it be a stock, bond, cryptocurrency, whatever, other traders see it as an opportunity to buy. So they call it support when you get to this line. And there's other indicators that we talk about that show support as well. But that's when traders come in and they start buying shares or coins at these outer channel bands, for lack of a better word. And then resistance is on the top band. The top band is resistance, the bottom band is support. When you see prices and trading starting to hang out with these bands, you normally won't see them widen up unless there's a big news came out in media, or some market maker comes in with a couple $1 million and starts buying up assets. That's when you'll see weird stuff happen. But for the most part, when you're hitting these upper and lower limits, that's the channel that the prices are going to live in, and you're not going to see them increase from that. And so again, just to kind of show you the buy and sell concept of these indicators, that as you see this price fall and then the momentum swing, if you line up your cursor on this line right here, you can watch all of the indicators kind of talk the same language and show the sells, and then they come back and show the buys right about here. So that's a quick overview on technical indicators.